what about communicating with parents? Is that different for communicating with parents of students with special needs than it is what we learn as general educators? Or what would you say about that?
I would say no. I worked very hard to build positive school-home relationships with all of my parents in the general classroom. And there were some students with disabilities and some students without disabilities that needed more communication than others. I had calendars that I ended up doing for my entire class 2 of my years because we all needed it. But it was a calendar, and they could earn a sticker at the end of the day if they had a really strong day. And when they earned, for some kids they had to fill up their whole chart. For some kids they had to earn 5 stickers. For some kids it was at the end of every day, just based on whatever the student need was. But they could earn the stickers to say, hey, I had a great day. Or if they didn't earn a sticker, I would just write a quick note of couldn't keep hands to self, or shouting out, or whatever had happened, so that parents were aware. And more so than it being a punitive system, it was just more of a, this is what happened at school today, and this is why your child didn't earn a sticker. I did a lot of positive of this child had a good day, and they got this, or yeah, so really just communicating with all your parents. This year was a little different for me because I had a couple students who were not able to communicate what they did at school, just because of their reduced ability to communicate. So they would go home, parents would say, "How was your day at school?" "It is good." And that's all the parents would get. So they had journals that I would write in every day. And if anything had happened at school, or if the child had learned something, I would say, ask this child about whatever, or this child did this today at school. Just kind of explaining more in depth to the parents what had happened.
And I've had parents, I've had gen ed teachers and myself work together to provide comments either on a daily basis, or especially like at report card times where we work together and when we write our notes together. But I have a few students that have had behavior cards where special ed team has written certain comments, but then gen ed teachers have written their comments for the day too. So that's communicating to the parents from both aspects. So I think that really works. So we communicate in lots of different ways. Emailing, texting has been, I say this all the time, I never thought, number one, I would be a texter anyway. But with parents, I never really believed that that would be something that I would do as communication. But I've asked parents at the beginning of the year, what's the best way to communicate with you, with that being one of the options. And they unanimously have picked texting. And it's just been great, and because it's a quick communication, and parents get right back to you typically. Students know if you have that phone in your hand that they know that mom or dad, they're going to have a comment coming through pretty soon. But also positive, we're having a great day, just want you to know. And mom or dad's at work and they can see that. It's just like, oh, good, I was really worried because the beginning of the day wasn't so great. Right. So,
and I've had parents text me and say he had a really rough time getting on the bus this morning. And that way when he gets to school and he gets off the bus and he's happy, or if he's still having a meltdown, I'm able to, number one, prepare myself and prepare the rest of the staff of, hey, this is what's going on. But also, if the child is okay coming off the bus, I can send a quick message back and say, he's okay. And that just allows the parent to be able to move on with their day rather than stress about.
And I feel like the texts have come pretty much to me, but whenever there's been email, the parents have typically copied it to the classroom teacher and myself, and oftentimes the assistant that is working with that child. So right away, everybody's getting that same communication, and then when we reply, we generally reply all, and so everybody's kind of on the same page right away, which has been really helpful, I think. So.